Boom! And we're live. What's going on, you guys?
How's it
You hear
going,
me, Brent?
DCC? Thanks for having
There
me
we
on.
go. There we go. Yeah, we were dealing with some last minute audio issues, but we got it just right. Yeah, what's
Hell
up?
yeah,
What's up,
man.
Gary? Go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, that's all I was saying is, yeah, always got to account sometimes for the different headphones, setting up the mic and stuff. But love that intro, man. There's your intro. Someone said it about mine with Nagabo, but then there's Wales Only too. That's got a banger. So gotta love it, dude.
No, definitely. I mean, there's some major stuff kind of going on right now in the hex space right now. Look at that 15-cent hex looking kind of juicy right now. It's looking kind of juicy right now. Yeah, so this would actually not be a terrible time to start the DCA. Tippy toe in right now. If you guys haven't, if you guys have some dry powder trying to get some hex right now, I do believe we are going to go down lower. Dun dun dun. But so the kind of points I'm looking at is like basically right now. Right now is a great time to DCA, but obviously then 13, 11, 9 cents in that range and stuff, kind of buying odd numbers. And if it goes lower than 9, then I back up that Brinks truck, basically, is what I'll do. But we're getting kind of just right now, just for the minute, we're just getting kind of a double doozy right now in terms of the hex price. One, we have multiple sack phases going on right now, so some people are selling hex for sack phases. We're getting sacked in the face right now, double sacks. And then on top of that, too, we're also getting the other sack. Oh, it's actually triple sacks. What are we talking about? It's triple sacks. Yeah, and we're that other sack, the actual real one for PulseChain is ending in a couple days. So it's kind of like that. So wherever you guys, if you guys are DCing from this point onwards and the price goes lower, these are great prices. Just to give you guys an FYI, the last time I really purchased a large amount of hex was at 13 cents. So yeah, I mean, what was your last purchase, if you don't mind me asking, Bran?
Dude, it was like maybe like 5 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, something like that. It was a while back. Yeah.
Like stunt on a dude. God damn. Oh, just 3x from
No
here.
big deal.
From my last purchase. I'm kind of plebbing out here in the streets, but like.
No, dude, it's true, man. Yeah, no, like you mentioned with some of the other sacrifice phases, a lot of people have been kind of inheriting and adopting that similar strategy that Richard's kind of done with the sacrifice.
No, definitely. So so I guess like first, could you introduce yourself, Brand? Obviously, a lot of the OG watchers on my channels have know who you are, but for people who don't know, who is BallietBran?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. So yeah, my name's Brandon Balliet. I've been in crypto since early 2017. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of into Hex and PulseChain and PulseX, and experimented with a lot of alts and stuff like that in 2017, 2018, 2019. Had been participating in Hex since it kind of came out. Followed Richard for a long time, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of crypto. It's the highest appreciating asset class as just a whole, let alone some of these other cryptos that do yield on top of it and can really earn you a lot of money.
Right. I don't think people. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself here a little bit on your behalf a little bit, but like people don't understand like how like brands are OG in Hex, like straight up triple OG back in the day. Yeah. And
Yeah,
you would get a little bit of haterade just because you were so young, basically, and a lot of people were just super jealous. Like, God damn it, Brand! Like, you had to be so young into Hex. Like, how do you just stumble onto this lotto ticket? Like, what the fuck?
no, dude, it's true, man. Yeah, no, because I'd been following Richard since he was a Bitcoin maxi at the time, all these things, and yeah, man, I'm happy that I stayed in, dude, because the first bear market itself, I mean, I had never really experienced anything like that of the investment that I was saving for like years, tank probably by like 90%, something like that. But anyways, the space itself as a whole is amazing. I mean, I've met a lot of cool people, and same with a lot of people in your mindset course. I think it's Jerry, Dave, and Steve I've hung out with before too. And you're right, man. Like the early days of Hex is great, and got in early as well. And how far we've come since then. So gotta love it. Not many people were there at that point in time, and then are still here now. Just a handful.
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot smarter than thankfully than we used to be as well. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, being in Hex back in the day, and it was like you would buy it and it'd be pixie. It was pixie dust. It didn't even make sense. It was like I mean, I even remember back in the day when it was like it wasn't even like 10% of a penny. It was like less than that. It was like 50% of 1% of a penny in terms of the prices and stuff. And it was all pretty much all kind of fairy dust. At least that's how it felt and stuff until like when we started getting close to that penny mark, when we got to half a penny or a penny, that's when it was like, oh wow, this is getting serious now, really serious now.
Well, dude, yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of us were kind of like daydreaming and just dreaming in general about like, dude, yeah, because when you've got like 4 zeros and then 4 or 5, whatever it was at the very low, then yeah, obviously a penny is a huge milestone from there. And I know when we hit that, I think it was like at the end of the year of 2020, something like that, that we hit like 2 pennies. But anyways,
Right.
no, it's been a fun journey, and yeah, a lot of cool people along the way.
No, definitely. But yeah. Shout out to John, man, right here. Yeah, smash the like button, you guys. Retweet this stuff on Twitter and stuff. Let's get more people in here and stuff. But definitely, man. Are you? I just got a question. Like, are you going to jump into the new sacrifice phases to what was it, like liquid loans and Minter or Mintra?
Honestly, probably not. I mean, just the way that
Dun, dun, dun.
let the neck chopping begin. No,
Right.
I'll be honest. I mean, I haven't really looked into. I mean, I haven't looked into Mintra at all. I've looked into LL a little bit, but as far as it goes, I mean, the thing that I realize is like, okay, there's only so much allocation capital that you can kind of have for the investments, and obviously I understand that getting in at the ground floor of some things are nice, but for me, I already went pretty freaking heavy on PulseChain and PulseX. And it's like, okay, I can allocate and I could sacrifice to some of those, but part of me is just kind of getting greedy and just holding on to what I
Right.
think might be, don't want to sacrifice all that hex or all that USDC.
I think people are also forgetting that, like, I mean, this is me being just guesstimating here, but like, I do believe the snapshot's happening in March. So, now like we're basically rolling. We got 4 or 5 days more on the 25th. It's all over at that point, and then it becomes it's already an extremely bad deal already. I mean, like we're almost at like what the $8 per sack point or something. Not great. And for PulseX, and once it kind of rolls over, you don't even have the amplifier of the 1.795 bonus on it. Then it's pretty terrible deal, basically. Once that ends, I do expect a bit of a dip down, rolling that over. Obviously, February is the shortest month of the year. Shout out Black History Month. And then, from there, I think once we have that slight dip, we'll kind of crack back up. But there is like a little bit of this kind of weirdness going on right now with the liquid loans. I haven't checked out what's the newest count of like how much is being sacked right now, but that does play a little bit of an effect and stuff because most people who are jumping into liquid loans are HEXICANs. But most, hopefully a good chunk of people are sacking something else. But I know it's USDC and stuff. But we also have to be we have to tell the truth here that a lot of people that are a lot of people in the projects are HEXICANs and most of their wealth is in Hex. So in still facto, they're going to have to sell some Hex if they haven't already like reallocated. I do know that people that are like hardcore all in on Hex, that if they're trying to get into it, they have to sell Hex into USDC. It's like it's the fact of life, but it doesn't mean there's anything bad, and it doesn't mean that's anything bad or anything, but it's just it is what it is. It's a 5 million. Oh, thanks, Jerry.
Well, you're right that like most people, they're not gonna like plan it, like at least with that one specifically, people don't usually plan ahead and are like, oh, if I need just USDC for this, let me do a couple limit orders, a couple days in advance, something like that, to where you actually have the capital. But yeah, most people, it's like, oh, here's when the phase starts. Let me just market sell. So you're right. I could see how that kind of plays into some of that effect for sure.
No, for real. But yeah, man, just for anyone that's in the chats and stuff, be on the lookout for pin messages. I think we're gonna have one in like 2 days. So the cool thing about all these sack phases is it's pretty chillaxed. It really is. I mean, like for Mintra, it's like you have 2 weeks, or not. Well, not 2. Like 9 days, which is a long time. As well as the liquid loans run is just USDC or DAI or whatever. So, and it just started yesterday. So plenty of time on that too. So it's like just kind of is.
How long is that one for? Do you know?
I have to look at the dates and stuff. I don't want to really talk on my ass, but
Right. No, I was just curious. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's probably gonna be for a good chunk of time and stuff. They're all copy. I'm not trying to talk bad about anything, but I'm just like speak my mind and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like actually, and Hex had pretty cool thing, like, yeah, BallietBran, stick to RH products.
Yeah.
Hey, but
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with speculating either,
Right. No, it's true. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, like I was saying earlier, the opportunity of anything is getting in at the ground floor. So if someone's convinced that, the potential or that it probably will, stuff like that, versus the other thing, then, yeah, why wouldn't you do a small amount? But I totally know what you mean. I mean, yeah, anymore, it's like I've heard people say like, oh, making wealth is one thing, but then like retaining it or keeping it's another. And so I've just kind of tried to, stick with what's tried and true. And at least with some of the bigger ones, the PulseChain and PulseX, like I put a decent amount into that. So I'm looking forward to see what that does as well.
Yeah, I mean, but I want to kind of put this kind of thing out there that, obviously, don't really expect profits really until like we've had like 6 months, 8 months in PulseChain launched and stuff. So if, let's just say worst case scenario, PulseChain launches in let me look at the calendar right here. Let's just say August, right, would be the latest, right? But let's just say August. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like January, February, maybe getting in some profits and stuff like that. It's just a sort of thing where I have a bit of a theory, unless you're like a top 10 wallet in all these SAC phases, like you won't really be in quick profits because there's multipliers on all these SAC phases and everything. And so usually even though there isn't VCs, we're the VCs now, right? With all these SAC phases, there is sort of a light VC rule where like if you are a part of the top 10, maybe top 20 wallets, because of the extra bonus coins and that brings your cost basis down, you'll be in profits extremely faster. That maybe the price won't drop as low as that. So looking at where maybe the Godwell got in or something like that, and then seeing how much what their cost per PulseChain token is, then that could possibly be where the floor ends right there for a while, or very quickly gets above that and everything. Then we're in instant profit, which is pretty cool. But
yeah, no, it is true. Like you mentioned, I mean, so many people, whether it's crypto or whether it's other markets, they, instead of like letting them be observant and have like the market kind of, tell them how it is, some people usually, like you mentioned, they might assume that, oh, you're going to be in profit this early or that early. And the thing that I'm happy about with, at least with, Pulse and PulseX and stuff, is that, I mean, there's a lot of hexicans that, obviously did well and don't ever need to really, or have plans, right, to sell like PulseChain or PulseX. And obviously everyone's got like a different profit taking strategy, but yeah, that is the best thing that you can do in crypto, at least with viable products, is, buying and holding. So it's just cool that there's a lot of people that'll be, doing that too.
No, definitely. I mean, in terms of, I think the mentality, I think the people who are like the most like hex maximalists are probably going to be doing the best in these new ecosystems because we can hold. But this is the first time that I'm going to see the hex community get inundated with the yield farming mentality, which is, like making LPing, taking profits, repothecating, doing all that jazz and stuff. So it does make you a little bit more tradery in a way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how people act and stuff. It's going to be really funny. This time around, we don't have a locking phase for our coins, so it's the emotional control is what I hope a lot of you have. I think some of you do have, but the same. So it's the sort of thing where, in terms of the psychology of it, right? Most hexicans have, like, I would say, let's just say 80% of their hex locked up in terms of stakes. Worst. Most people it's more than that, but like just to make math easy, 80% of your hex is locked up over maybe like a 5-year average, 6-year average, 9-year average for some of you guys, and you have a certain amount of liquid. Well, now you're playing. You have to play treasury. Like it's the sort of thing where people may be acting with their liquid pulse bags, liquid PulseX bags, like they have more they have more in stakes, but they actually don't. right? They have it all out at that point. So one mistake can be pretty costly in terms of it can be quite costly in terms of you make one misstep, you don't understand impermanent loss very well. You're trading back and forth because like what's going to happen is when you're in a deflationary state, even though your yield, like some of them are deflationary, it's like it's just sort of thing where there's the burn and everything like that, and like yields will go down after a while, and then people start going like a little while trying to get even more or something. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I've heard you mention that like a long time ago, and I completely agree. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, and it's kind of like this with a lot of things, but because they maybe had success one time or in one area, they might think that they can just directly relate that to, like you mentioned, like, oh, now every token that I invest in is going to be legitimate and have all these other things. And yeah, that is where you can definitely realize that you're not always right all of the time, and certain risk management things, kind of like you mentioned with the yield farming and certain things. There's some things that are just way higher risk than others, and most people, once again, have never been through like a full market cycle to realize that a majority of the coins on a blockchain, don't do that well. It's usually just a small minority.
Right. I mean, a lot of people don't know that we used to be a part of the Litecoin community.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Can you talk about some of that stuff? Because you did pretty well, man. Like you sold at a really great price on Litecoin, man. You beat me on that one, dude. Like I bought the bottoms and like traded pretty well during 2018, 2019 on Litecoin, but I did not do that 27 thing. Go ahead, tell them. It's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was, accumulating it, and that was one of the first cryptos that I got into because Bitcoin was like $1,000 at the time, and Litecoin was like 27. And same thing, that logic where it's like, well, do I want a fraction of a Bitcoin, or do I want, 10 or 15, whatever it was, Litecoin at the time. But anyways, yeah, 420, at least on Coinbase, was its top because it was GDAX at that time, Coinbase Pro now. But anyway, set a limit order for 420, and obviously that that ticked and stuff, and that hit, which was literally the very top, which is cool. But that was my first market cycle, or that was my first top, I guess. I hadn't experienced the bottom yet, and so I had taken some of the profits from selling at 420 and just bought back way too early. I was like, oh, sold at 420, price is 325. What a discount, and then it just continued to keep taking and going down. So I learned kind of, okay, like, when you take profits, or when you realize that a market cycle is going to play its course, then, don't try and force it, let it kind of run its cycle and then come back.
Yeah. That would have been funny if you sold it at 420, 69 cents and then bought back at $369.
No, dude, that's true. But no, like you mentioned, it was because, it was like the first community that I'd been a part of. I was curious about crypto, and then I go on YouTube and it's like, whoa, there's this whole community and kind of industry of people that I didn't really know that existed until now. But the Litecoin community was, definitely one of the ones that I liked, as far as I'd been in a handful of other cryptocurrencies at that time too, maybe 10 or 15 other ones. But I always liked kind of some of the camaraderie or some of the aspects about that. And so when Richard created Hex, same thing. I had no idea that there was all these Richard Hart followers until Richard had started plugging Telegram. And so I went over there, and then it's like, oh, cool, dude. Here's a similar to Litecoin, but just people that are a lot more, similarly focused and similarly minded. So it's cool to have a community, man.
No, definitely, man. Oh my God, the chat's killing me, bro. But yeah, man, hit the like button, you guys. But I guess people want to know when's the next brand cooking tutorial.
No, it's funny. They used to call me Brand Man the Chef. So like, I never delete it. So when I've had my YouTube channel for like 15 years, like ever since I was 10.
What?
And at first, I've got a whole bunch of videos that got deleted too when Alphabet bought Google, or when they bought YouTube in like 2008. But anyways, I used to do a whole bunch of cooking, and nothing like super fancy or anything, just kind of like always a hobby and a passion and stuff. But it was kind of just being in front of the videos or being curious about stuff like that made it really easy for me to get into live streaming after I had joined RG3 on Discord Syndicate a couple of times.
Right. That's really cool, man. Cooking with Bran. What's going on, you guys? Yo, but yeah, people are saying like brand flakes.
No, I love it, dude. Your chats, they're always popping off, and like I said, like any community, I think is usually beneficial for people and stuff. But it's cool the following that you've got as well. Like I said, we went to the shooting range, we've gone to lunch and stuff a handful of times, but it's cool that they had found out of Hex through you, but also I wouldn't have met them had they not reached out to me as well. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Crypto Mindset, man. They were hanging out with Brand and stuff. That's pretty cool, man. People don't know how many people we've onboarded onto Hex, man. It's kind of yeah, it's a lot of people. I mean, shout out Crypto Mindset and stuff, but we're slowly growing as like one of the bigger tribes in the Hex community, which is pretty sick, man. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll hit a little bit.
Love it, dude. I love the meme culture, dude. The Pepe and stuff like that, man. It never gets old, dude. Pure comedy.
So I have a new version of that one. It's the same meme, except I'm just changing some of the words around and stuff. But coming soon, basically, which is awesome. Like I love that meme. That shit is so funny. But yeah, man, like DCC made us all farmers. That's for sure.
No, it's important. I mean, Richard talks about it, or just anything, right? But like the importance, is whether it's crypto or certain things, is onboarding people in the first place. So the fact that I've seen, like you mentioned, I think you were saying like something over like 7,000 people that you'd kind of onboarded specifically into Hex and things like that, and obviously crypto in general. But it's just awesome, man, because once again, it's such a limited time when you look at history in the future of this opportunity of some of these mad gains before a lot of the people really adopt it.
Right. I mean, fucking look at this. So Ginger's like, I found Brand, Coffee Whales, K4K, Gerard, Richards, Tendies, Cabana, Motley, all because of man. Crypto Mindset Q4, baby. Yeah. No, for real. I mean, yeah, man, it's the gateway. The thing is, my method's a little bit more relaxed than a lot of other people, right? And I mean, because obviously you've seen the whole thing that happened with the what was it, the NASCAR thing? Which, yeah. Richard got a little kind of heated a little bit.
Dude, I listened to that a couple times. Yeah.
I think he was mostly mad that like the minute he found out the money was already sent in, basically. So it was like he didn't get it. I think he was kind of more mad that he didn't get more of a heads up, but kind of like he's kind of discouraged. I mean, like I forgot how much they sacked. I mean, how much Hex they sold and stuff to pay for it, but I think it was like $600,000 plus for the NASCAR racer and stuff. Which is, I mean, hey, there's some cool pictures, man, for real. But in terms of like, he was pretty much right. Like they never even said Hex one time. They barely showed the car. And 650, NASCAR sack, yeah. But
well, you're right, because it's so true. I mean, kind of like with what you guys are doing, onboarding people and getting people, into crypto, like that's the most important thing you can do. And so when Richard was like, I listened to that a couple of times, and I'd like to, I want to chop up some clips and stuff because I think they're important. They're good reminders. But Richard kind of was just talking about that. I mean, certain things kind of look cool, whether it was like the Economist magazine or in the UK, right, the taxis and things like that. And Richard had mentioned even then, which I didn't know about, but it makes sense now because he's been talking about this in SCIVIVE for forever. But that, more of the direct marketing works, and that kind of that brand advertising doesn't. And so I'm a fan that Richard, he's almost like, because I've got 3 older brothers. I mean, and I'm the youngest. He kind of reminds me of like that older brother, or that person that's like looking out type of deal. And I think, like you said, he might have said earlier on that wouldn't work had he kind of maybe known about it. And so anyways, it was just a good kind of kick in the nuts for people that haven't maybe experienced that before, have Richard talk about that before, where we can all collectively realize, okay, because 640,000 is a lot of fucking money, and that you might be able to have a better opportunity doing a different kind of marketing strategy.
Yeah, because even if it was like, even if everyone already had the cash, it could have been buying pressure that could have gone into Hex, possibly. In terms of like that, like I'm talking about the whole Hex side of the community. I'm not really talking about other, because my channel is more of a multi-coin channel, realistically, man.
Yeah,
shout out Moon Gang and stuff, but where like I'm even though I'm an OG HEXICAN and I'm a hardcore HEXICAN and stuff, I dabble in other coins. Like for sure I do. Like Hex is not the only ecosystem. PulseChain will not be the only ecosystem I'm playing around with and stuff. But that's just so I don't lose my sword, my katana stays sharp, basically, in terms of, because it's like I'm able, like by being really active in these other communities, I can sort of see possibilities, or at least patterns that could eventually show themselves up in the PulseChain ecosystem or the Hex ecosystem. And then this keeps me a little bit more, try to keep myself a little more of ahead of the curve and stuff in terms of that and stuff. Actually, look, RenGT had a really funny ass thing, like Latecoin Moses, right? Well, dude, me and Bran were kind of talking about that. Like one of the reasons why, like, obviously I think RG3 kind of started that joke as Latecoin Moses and stuff. Well, the only reason I was even late was because I was working a fucking full-time, I was working in my business full fucking time, working 7 days a week. And I would work from like the minute the sun would come up until it would come down, because I was trying to grind so fucking hard to get money to ape into crypto and buy Hex and get Ethereum and Litecoin and all these coins and stuff like that. Like, I don't regret any of that. And like, I was pushed Brand knows and stuff, because we would talk in the green room sometimes. Like, I would come on stream and just like take my dirty ass shirt off of work and just like button up or put a black shirt on and just jump on stream just like that. I would barely make it to the streams on time and stuff like that. And like there's like this whole thing on me being like late all the time and stuff. Like, dudes, like it was because like I was working my fucking ass, still am working my ass off, but legitimate, it is a little bit like, it's funny, like I always play with the jokes and stuff, but legitimately, like I was working all fucking day, and it wasn't like some bullshit ass fucking like cubicle job. I was out there working in the fucking sun, like all damn day, like burning my fucking skin and shit. Like, I know I look pretty pasty white now, but I was a lot tanner back in the day. Like, 80 pounds lighter working in the sun. But no, legitimately, like I was working all day and night and stuff. I mean, literally, like if someone would call me, it's like, Miguel, something happened and stuff, I would just drive out there and be like, yes, I'm gonna get some cash. Driving in my little fucking Toyota truck and stuff, trying to like, I'll be like, I was like, yeah, call me anytime. If like literally, like if someone would call me at like, it would be midnight, Miguel, something happened and stuff, our whole irrigation system won't turn off and stuff like that, could you come by? I'm like, fuck yeah. I would fly, zoom out there and stuff, and go, because I'd be like, dude, fuck yeah, $300-$400 that I can ape into crypto or buy. Dude, that's like 2 Ethereum. At the time I was like 2, and then I was like, cool, I can sack another Ethereum into the AA phase, and then put like an Ethereum in my my treasure or something like that. I'm like, dude, it like that's what I was doing and stuff. And I was like, I burnt the candle at both ends, like for a long time, to the point where like I put like, it even hurts me. Like I still don't talk too much about this, but it still hurts me that like I'm trying to have like my back pain is starting to come back again from a work injury and stuff that I had like back in like 2000. I had one in 2015, another one in 2018 and stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, hard work pays off and stuff like that. I'm not complaining about it, but it makes me smile now just thinking about it. And because I know you work construction as well. I mean, you worked in the whole industry. You know how hard that fucking work is. It's not easy.
I was gonna say, I worked in it, and then also, dealt with like contractors, and towards the very end, the last time that I was working at for Mutual Materials, I was kind of just dealing with a lot of contractors, making sure that deliveries would go out properly. But same thing that you mentioned, and that is one thing I want to say that is kind of just I think an aspect of humans, where Rich has talked about this before, where there's like some sort of Reddit channel where people get free things, like choosing beggar, I think, and that they would always kind of complain even if the thing was for free. And so anyways, not down talking the chat or things like that, but a lot of people don't realize the work that goes into it. And that, I mean, it's not like anyone is paying you. You are volunteering your own time after working full time, and probably overtime too, I can almost guarantee, to educate people and to get more people into the space. So definitely shout out to people like you and the other people doing it as well. Because once again, it's really easy to be behind a keyboard or chat and stuff, and then kind of armchair quarterback, say how it should go, but in reality, it's a lot different actually doing it.
Definitely, man. Sandy Beach killed me with this shit. Like, ibuprofen relief can be your best friend, not medical advice. Hilarious. I try not to take pills and shit, or like pain pills or anything like that. But sometimes, like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Gotta do what you
I
gotta
have a
do.
pretty addictive personality, if that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I can cut shit off pretty cold turkey and stuff. Like, actually, I had some guy, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, hey, this is no disrespect to anybody in the hex community, right? And no disrespect. This doesn't mean you're lesser than or anything like that.
Sure.
I'm just talking about myself. Okay. Okay. Like, I need like
okay.
Chill, like, calm your tits, you guys, when I say this shit.
Yep.
But like, I've got a lot of self-control on stuff in terms of like it's kind of crazy. Like, I remember I would be on the Discord syndicate and I would have a drink or something, or like I would pull out, like, I don't know, I wouldn't drink rum or something. I'd drink like a beer or something. And like a lot of the people on the streams or a lot of Hexicans were like past alcoholics and were like, they don't drink anymore and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, man, but that's not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
And I mean that, but respectfully as I possibly can. But like, some people don't have a drinking problem or don't have an abuse problem or anything like that, and things can be done recreationally. It's like I drink maybe once every 3 weeks, if that.
Yeah,
dude. It's usually on a stream. You guys, if you see me, I rarely ever drink at all, which is kind of crazy. But it's kind of insane, But a lot of people put this sort of connotations. If someone was an was like a drug addict. Mm-hmm. They see anyone doing drugs and they're like, oh, they're going to ruin their life. And it's like, it's obviously don't fucking do meth and shit and everything. Like, of course, duh. But like, they see people drinking or like going out or anything and stuff. They think that their whole life's going to spiral out of control or something. Like, calm your tits, you guys. Okay. Chill. Like, everyone has a different path and stuff like that. Like, all right.
That's true. Well, dude, that's true. Yeah. Like any sort of like extreme, I don't know. I mean, like obviously, like you mentioned, people have their own experiences and stuff. But anytime you got something extreme, like I know, like Richard was like this way with Bitcoin, right? Where it's like, okay, everything else is not Bitcoin, is a shitcoin type of deal, and kind of just like super on the one side, which is fine. But then yeah, you're also kind of discounting that things like Ethereum did really well, and kind of like you mentioned, just because one thing might not work for another person doesn't mean you need to condemn them. So I see what you mean.
Well, Art, yeah, this is a tough one right here. It's hard for me to put the fork down, but that's about it. I feel you on that. Well, it's because it's the addiction you need. Like, food is like what you need to sustain your, other than water, like you need, like, food is, yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it, man. Like, yeah. But other than those things and stuff, it's just basically, yeah, just it's a little bit about self-control, or just having, or just like putting it as like, I'll drink once a week or something like that. But it's almost like the point you got to not even think about it in a time like that, because the more you start thinking about it, the more you're like, it's almost like having the I want to call it the Cinderella, the Romeo and Juliet effect and stuff, where it's because they tell you, it's like, let's just say you're kind of dating a girl, and your parents and their parents is like, you guys can't date each other. It makes you guys like each other more because they said you guys can't date. Yeah. Well, anyway, no, I'm gonna marry this chick. It's that stupid shit. But if you're saying like, you can't have this drink or you can't have this thing, like, oh no, I'm gonna have more of it now.
Yeah, dude,
and I guess it's crazy. Yeah.
It's super true. No, I agree with Know Your Worth, where he's saying like many times hunger is just thirst, drink more water. Or like for me, and obviously, yeah, I'm not perfect either, but like for me, a lot of that sometimes like overeating or just excess eating has been like bored. Like I used to do that when I was younger. I'd like go into the kitchen and I was just like bored and would just like open the fridge. It's like, wait, I think I should actually just be filling my time with something productive versus just, oh, there's nothing to do, let's eat a sandwich. So yeah, I mean, there's always something that, people struggle with. And anyways.
Right. Yeah. But there's some things you just stay away. Like, dude, like
yeah.
I'm a little talking out my ass here, but like, I've done okay in my life, so I'm
Yeah.
so like, hey, I'm not, but like, you know, obviously you stay away from things that are just like obviously retarded, like
Yep.
hard drugs, anything like
Yeah.
heroin, like it's like
Yeah.
such like no brainer shit. Like
Mm.
if I even have, it's kind of sad I even have to say that. It's like don't inject that thing that's gonna end up making you super like addicted to it. Like
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
bro,
You
I don't
know.
believe you. I don't believe you, bro. Trust and verify first, you know.
Yeah. No, you're right about that common sense thing. Like common sense ain't common, and yeah, I know specifically with stuff like that. Like yeah, yeah, don't open Pandora's box. You know. So
Yeah, heroin or heroin. Yeah. Be careful for all my guys in Jewel and stuff. Don't be spending all your Jewel on fucking heroes, man. Oh, definitely. You know, actually, to answer one quick question that I remembered, like I've just been going through some of my comments on a lot of my videos, and I keep remembering that people keep asking this. So, because I talk a lot about GameFi now, which are just basically, you know, games with like tokens and stuff like that, and you can yield farm on it, and it has a possibility of actually going a little viral because it's a game. Well, someone keeps asking me, is that going to happen on PulseChain? Yes, at some point. But from what I've seen, I don't see anything in the horizon right now. At some point, yes, there will be. That'd be really cool. And if maybe I am in talks with some projects and stuff like that I'm trying to push it that way right now, which is cool. It's like I got connects in the Phantom ecosystem and stuff, so I'm trying to maybe some projects over there, try to have them come over there to PulseChain, which would be really cool. But it's just the sort of thing where it's going to take a while because it hasn't even launched yet. So once things are launched and they start like, oh, I see what it is, boom, yeah.
did you see Ginger's comment about the OpenSea stuff? Like, because I had heard about that, but I honestly didn't really see much or kind of verify. But I'd heard something.
Yeah, did you hear about the OpenSea contract issue? A dude stole 500 plus Ethereum worth of NFTs. No, I saw that whole thing. Yeah. Oof. That's all I gotta say. I mean, it really, the many people who could have been possibly affected by that were basically people who had who had things like, wait, let me see, who basically had things for sale or were trying to migrate their sales onto the new contract, because like OpenSea was coming out with a contract where you'd be able to batch transactions, so it was basically a way for you to save on gas fees on ETH.
I see what you mean.
But if you had no sales or nothing, if your wallet hadn't touched like OpenSea or nothing, and nothing happened, but it's not a good look for OpenSea. I'm saying that's a little better for looks, but this is Gerardo was actually saying this a little bit, where like most people didn't understand what Mintra or Mint I keep fucking the name up, but I'll just call it whatever I want. Mintra, right? NFT platform that he's promoting and stuff with the SAC phase. He explained it like, hey, it's like OpenSea because everyone knows what OpenSea is. Got it. But if you say it was forked over from looks only, like from the looks token, they're like, what's that? Right. So so he kind of was like, I kind of fucked up like saying like OpenSea because it's not OpenSea. It was it was from another token or different contracts. Yeah, he wasn't forking OpenSea. It was the looks contract, which is actually I think a lot better of a project. I was like, honestly, OpenSea should have had a token out by now forever, but obviously, like a lot of people don't know this, that they actually ended up crowdfunding. They ended up doing a seed rate, a round basically, and Andreessen Horowitz bought the whole fucking thing basically.
Oh, really?
Which is A16Z Capital basically. Like they're the biggest hedge fund in crypto, and they're part of a larger conglomerate, which is Andreessen Horowitz. So kind of shit that there hasn't been a token. It's kind of lame, but
right,
kind of just is what it is, Yeah.
No, it's true. Like what you mentioned, just about PulseChain in general. Obviously, a blockchain versus some other things which are individual. I'm excited, dude. What just some of the, even with the testnet, the block speeds themselves, kind of just looking at the block explorer and just watching them churning and burning. I'm excited for the V3 and then obviously for the launch, but that's a really big deal, man. Whether it's people doing NFTs or anything else, to be able to have cheaper transaction fees. So that'll be fun when it launches. Maybe 4 more weeks or 4 more years.
4 more years, man. Imagine we don't chain until next year. Could you imagine, bro? Could you imagine? Like, my God, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like
wouldn't be good. That's true, man. You might have to make a run for it at that case.
Yeah, but in terms of like within like what the pulse chain, if I had to say what was actually needed, you do need a Mintra or a Minter, whatever the fuck it's called. Sorry, Mintra. I'll just call it whatever I want.
Yeah, I think it's Mintra. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, well, whatever they end up, you do need an interface for the NFTs because you're copying over. So you got the token, you got all these tokens being copied over, right? And so each state's copied over. We got PulseChain, we got Ethereum now, and then we have all the tokens that come out. So now you have PulseX, which facilitates all of that. But there's the NFT side that also gets copied over. There wasn't anything for it. So in terms of like where I think in terms there you do need a place to view these NFTs. So I get it. That in terms of like what actually needs, it's a use case. You do need something, and then like it's Mintra. I'll call it whatever I want, Koji. Nobody tell me what to do. I'll call it whatever the fuck I want. If it's Mintra, you know what? It's chocolate chip mint now. It's mint. No, but all jokes aside. But yeah, you do need a place to like look at the NFTs. You need a marketplace. So at the very least, it's HEXICAN made. And let's just see what happens. That's what I think. That's why if you look at the current stack numbers of Mintra, people are treating that accordingly as well, because a lot of HEXICANs are like super anti NFTs, which I understand. But we're also going to be attracting people that are not a part of the Hex ecosystem or the PulseChain ecosystem. So they're a bunch of shitcoiners. So if they want to look at NFTs, might as well have it be like store owned or like owned by the tribe, which is cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's 1,000% true. I mean, once again, with a blockchain, especially that's got the 25% burn for each transaction fee, yeah, you want there to be usage on that network, and you want people to be building. So I think the more the merrier. And like you said too, I know that there was like a free Pulse.io like Faucet and some of these other things that are HEXICAN owned, or at least just people that trying to do good for the network, or for the majority of the people onboarding new people from other ecosystems and things. That is the most important, because if you have an echo chamber that you're just echoing to, well, there's a whole freaking ocean, not just a little fish tank,
Right. So anyone that's in the crypto mindset courses, just be on the lookout. In 2 days, we're going to have an event, cinematic event. So wait before you sack. Okay. 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 Just wait, you guys. Stuff's coming. But anyway, yeah, man, that's pretty much what we have to do on that and stuff. Yeah. So obviously spread that around and stuff like that. Say it in the chats and stuff. Say it there. Hey, you guys, Fight Club, enough said. Fight Club, enough said. Fight Club, enough said. All right, cool. I'm getting asked that shit like so much. It's like, you guys, like I've been telling people just DM me on Twitter because I can't even look at my Telegram chat. My Telegram chat's like,
oh, dude. Yeah,
I'm getting so many fucking messages a day. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Like, yeah, it's I'm having an easier time keeping it like categorized on Twitter than I am on Telegram. It's kind of insane. But
yeah, his name was Robert Paulson. Fight Club reference. No, but no, dude, it's true. I mean, that is not one thing that I expected when I first got into this. I mean, similar to Hex Luther and some of these other guys that kind of didn't really expect to get into streaming, but are. I never expected, dude, the DMs and the messages, and I mean, anymore it's like, yeah, everyone wants a piece of your time and stuff like this, and you obviously got to allocate accordingly. But you're definitely right about those, DMs or messages just flying through, and it's like either way, you just know that you're not going to be able to, at least for me, get to them all, and so kind of got to understand that too sometimes.
Yeah, and Sandy, yeah, I saw it. I'm so jealous. Jesus. So we're a part of this game called Fancy Birds, and they have a token and stuff, and I don't know what the hell happened to me. I must have fell asleep during it. I got a whitelisting, and I didn't get any of my birds made, which is really pissed me the fuck off. And then here, Sandy's over here talking about she got a Pepe bird and shit. It made me so mad. Bro, I like it so much. It's like the bird I wanted, but it's all good.
I know what you mean.
Oh
yeah.
My God, I would have been posting that shit like all day, dude. I'm like, look at my bird.
That's awesome.
But no, but it just is what it is with that, which is pretty cool. So no, but yeah, yeah, there's just a lot going on and stuff like that. But in terms of that, are you still doing stakes and stuff? I guess I've never really asked you, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So I am. I know. Yeah, we haven't really talked about it a whole bunch. So I know with a lot of the, obviously I mean, because you and I both remember that when we were doing stakes, there wasn't even the calendar and stuff like that. And you're like, you know, you had to save for the amount of days, like, I don't know, 1,000 days, and then kind of you'd be off by one and stuff. I definitely am staking for sure. Yeah, totally. I'm still doing stakes. What I'm actually doing is just consolidating. Because I'll be honest, some of them I'm starting to realize, like, at most I'll do biannually, a couple stakes per
yeah,
year.
bigger
But
ones, bigger ones. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Because I diluted
Yeah.
some of and they're still super nice and I'm happy about it. But I've learned for just optimum, amount of shares and amount of yield to make them smaller as far as the quantity, but then bigger stakes and at most a couple per year. So I'm kind of just taking some of the ones that were maybe, some of the smaller stakes, kind of consolidating them, and then just throwing them out wherever the ladder still needs the rungs.
Got it. Wait, what the hell?
Because yeah, dude, I know. I mean, once again, none of us really expected the fees to go from a penny to send the transaction to. I mean, the last send I did was like $15 to send. So you always kind of have to adjust accordingly.
I thought at the worst case it'd be like $100 to unstake. Worst case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was I wrong? Fuck. I was like damn near like 10, 20x wrong. That's how bad, how much I was wrong on that. Like, and it's climbing because like the 3-month stakes are even like, dude, it's gonna end up costing a full fucking Ethereum to unstake sometimes. I can imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, dude, it's so true, man. And like, especially for people, whether it's like anything crypto related or just realize that there's certain times, at least like with Ethereum and other networks, that the network's more congested. And so if it's more congested, it's going to be slower and more expensive. So I know for me specifically, there was a couple stakes that was just like, okay, do I wait for the optimum time or do I kind of just let it burn type of deal? And so, you can definitely get a lot lower fees, at least if you can get it at like a good GUI. But you're right. A lot of us didn't really pre-plan or see that kind of happening. So kind of just got to duck the punches.
So this is something that I do for like a lot of hexicans is like I have a lot of consultations with hex people. That's actually a majority of the consultations I've been doing recently is a lot of hexicans. Some of you guys may know. And helping them with their whole staking ladder, kind of figuring out what to do with that and kind of giving them a second opinion on that. And one thing that I've been telling people recently is just really like to consolidate maybe like 6 months every year, a little bit up, and then maybe make two, instead of having like 7, 8, 10, 20 stakes, unless it's an income ladder, that's different. But but even on the income ladder, it could become like, oh crap, this income ladder is not working because it needs to appreciate a little bit more, or it's cutting into the profits in too much. Then maybe we consolidate it down by 50% to make them larger, or even just take it every 2, because it's maybe taking it down to maybe like you're essentially taking quarterlies instead of monthlies, and just kind of doing that over time, and then putting and making sure to put like money in your pocket, because a lot of people have told me what they've been doing, and I'm like, dude, you haven't taken anything at all.
Yeah.
Like yourself, like, dude, like I have those conversations all the time with people, like all the time, like millionaires, like barely like not even being able to pay for their fucking car payment and stuff, like late and shit. I'm like, dude, bro, you got to put like 20, it's okay. Shh, it's okay. Like, I give him a hug. It's okay. Shh. So you can sell $30,000 of it. But Miguel, like, it's supposed to be staked out 5.5 all the time. Like, I can't be doing. Shh. It's okay. You don't have to eat ramen all your life. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. Yeah, no, he'll get past this. Shh. Okay, it's okay. Take a little off the top. It's okay. It's okay. You sure, Miguel? That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you can take a little. You can put some in your pocket. It's okay. Okay, just because you said so. Okay, all right, good. All right, you call me back. Like, hit me up in 3 months and stuff, and you'll see how you're doing. Okay, good.
Well, dude, it's true. I mean, once again, a lot of people. yeah, they're not actually like gains or losses, obviously, until you realize it. And so many people are like, oh, I'm a millionaire, like you mentioned, like on paper and stuff. But then, yeah, we see that everything's got a market cycle. And so I know it can definitely be hard for some people to take profit or scoop some off the top. But if you're kind of just diligent about that, like whatever number or percentage and things like that, then like you mentioned, then it's kind of just like a good, I guess, like habit or thing for people to get into. Because once again, if you are betting the whole farm, then
Right.
and like you mentioned, you're not kind of doing any of these things. Well, you can never be 100% certain in anything. And so, yeah, how shitty would that be if it was like, oh, I was a millionaire, and then market cycle ended or whatever happened,
Right.
and yeah, you didn't realize anything that whole time. Like no, don't be greedy. Take a little bit out and treat yourself every now and then.
Right. It's like what like Art said right here. I mean, like it's like we're in this to change your quality of life, not struggle forever and be rich on paper. Yeah, that
Mm,
doesn't mean that you should sell it all or do anything. Just take a little off the top. Like it's just like it's okay. I get your strategy, but let's just do this a little smartly. Put a little Ethereum right here, okay? Some USDC there, and then make sure that you have like 20,000. Like let's pay off the credit cards, maybe. But
yeah.
no, like let's pay off the credit cards. Let's just pay like off like after this one. Let's just pay this one off, just one. Let's debt snowball this bitch. Shout out,
Mm, mhm.
shout out Ramsey. But and then I've helped people kind of get out of debt basically, and then figure out in a smart without what what people do is like they'll do it all in one shot or try to
Yeah.
go ham. That's very rare unless it's like they've just done very well. Then they're like, okay, let's just de-stress your life. What I like to do for a lot of clients is like make them get to this point where their living costs, like let's just say it costs you as like this person like $3,500 $4,000 a month to survive, like, and then let's see what's your debts, what's your car payments, what's going on the backside and stuff. Let's figure this out. Boom, let's bring this down. And now it only costs $1,500 to be you, or 2,000 from 4,000. And you'll see
Mm,
this amount of stress because you're working, and then you're keeping $2,000 more a month back in your portfolio and in your monthly income, and this relaxes you a little bit, and then you can do longer term debt and shit, get a new car. But hey, whatever, that's just a theory. Because like
yeah.
I've had talks with people, and then like 3-4 months later I was like, yeah, I got myself a new whip. I'm like, well, all right. Well, at least we saved you like still $1,400 more or whatever. That's cool.
Mm. Yeah, no, you're definitely right about like that debt snowball thing. I mean, yeah, I think it was actually Maddie that initially talked about like have I think he had mentioned that people who are retired or people that have debt have like I think it was people that have debt have like automatically like a little bit less of an IQ just because some of that stress that you get from some of these
Right.
things in the background or that burden that, oh, I'm paying this amount of interest rate on a credit card or a student loan or whatever it ends up being, that can really weigh you down. And there's something, yeah, liberating obviously about not being in debt and things like that and having assets that generate yield. But I think you're also right too that some people always think that, like you say, that it needs to all be done at once, which it doesn't. You can just slowly chip at it like you would a sculpture.
Right. No, I totally believe that. Yeah. Zero debt, more ape. Yeah, no, definitely. No, but what you're saying about the IQ thing is right. Yeah, when you're in a lot of debt, you actually, it's shown, that you do become stupider. And the same thing too is actually if you start making more money, your IQ goes up. Which is a hella funny. Obviously there's a
Up and to
limit
the
and stuff.
right.
Yeah, it was a little
Yeah,
bit, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But
totally.
yeah, what's everyone buying dead spiritual too? Yeah, so it's just yeah, obviously I'm not telling people to do it when the prices are going down, obviously, but we make a strategy for when things start turning around and stuff, and then you take a little bit off the top, but yeah.
Just looking at Hex Monkey, dude. That guy's hilarious, man.
Yeah. But hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't like pushing it to the limit when I had the opportunity and stuff too. So
Mm,
it is a choice for everybody. And you're only making so much, and there's an opportunity. Some people, I never did credit cards, but I sort of did, but it didn't. Like, okay, I'll be for real here. What I did is I aped more than I should have, but it was planned. And then I started paying for things with credit card, which as a plan and stuff. And then paying the minimums on it for a while, and then doing a job, and then paying my credit card off. So it was almost like, okay, I know I've got this big job coming up in the next 2-3 months. So what I'll do is like I'll start spending more regular. It's pretty stupid, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say I didn't do it. And like then from there, with the extra like cash flow that I had, I ended up aping more into crypto, and it worked out pretty good for me basically. Yeah. But am I doing that now? Fuck no. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Like, but I get, you got to risk it for the biscuit, which I understand. But like, man, dude, like, yeah, it was like it's what. So and then some people do college loans, PPP loans. Obviously, I'm not telling you to do that. That's on you guys. But just be careful with that. But when it works out, it works out really well. But when it doesn't, you got to also know the downsides of like, can you get yourself out of this hole, basically. Yeah.
No, dude, it's so true that you mentioned that. I mean, and I was going to say the same thing that you mentioned, working the construction, especially, dude, construction specifically, super laborious. But I was doing the same thing, man, like trying to work every single weekend or, get as much hours of overtime as possible so I could be frugal and, once again, keep working hard, but then save every single penny. And just, I mean, Ethereum was like $90 to $150 at that time, like absolute perfect of a bear market. And so anyways, you're right that there are certain things that kind of have, certain levels of risk, I guess, that, might work better or, not as good for some people, depending on, what they want and how fast they want to get it in risk management.
Yeah. Buying one kidney for one. What the fuck you guys talking about kidneys for in the chat? Okay, degenerates. I love it. But no, definitely this comment right here. Brand's the best. I've never seen anyone say anything bad about the guy. Well, I'll be the first. Okay, let me start. Yep. So Brand, no, Brand's an awesome guy. Yeah, definitely an OG in the space and stuff. I got nothing bad to say about Brand, honestly. So yeah, thanks for showing up.
Hell yeah. No, it's a cool community. I mean, once again, like you mentioned, it's so easy that, usually if you have like a stake in something, usually that's kind of all you care about and things like that. But as far as Hex and all these other cryptos go, like, yeah, it's not just one particular crypto to rule them all and things like that. So you have to be open and understanding, like with PulseChain is absolutely a perfect example where instead of with Hex, how you have like a Bitcoin free claim, well, now PulseChain, right, everyone on, ERC20s and 721s is going to get it. I think that's pretty cool that you have to realize that not everyone's going to like the same thing that you do, but then also appeal to that mass market too. Cause I think Richard's going to get a decent market share of, what would be Ethereum 2.0 maybe.
Let's talk about something pretty serious right now for a second, right? Like this guy has like an unbelievable good like comments up. Brand complaint number 1: bring back the tank tops. All right, so let's. I mean, yeah, I've got to say, like, I'm a tad bit disappointed, Brand. Like, what's going on with that?
With the tank tops, I was tired of getting harassed by RG3. No, yeah, no, by RG3. I was making a joke because he'd always have me on Discord Syndicate, and he's like, "Hey, Brand," and he would just like cancel everyone else, but it was just like me and him for a minute on Discord. I'm just making. Yep, exactly. Yeah. I'm the captain now.
Wait, I think there's a different mode I can put it in. Wait, hold up. There we go. Okay, Brand, go ahead. Tell the class.
Oh yeah, here's the class we got in session. No, but yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, those were honestly a handful of tank tops that I had just made because once again, most people don't realize that. I mean, now you can get, merch on Amazon or wherever else, but you had to make it yourself because it's like all rights reserved and no one else was really selling any merchandise. You
can make one of ones, right? It was like one of ones, right? Was allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And of course there's like an unspoken thing of just, a whole bunch of people just making their own stuff. Right. But anyways, no, yeah, I haven't purchased any anytime soon, but I'm getting back into the gym and the sauna and stuff like that for when tank top season, spring and summer kind of is around. So,
man, I've got a mission,
working towards goals always.
I got a mission for the summer, man. Get back the cuts for the sluts, man. I'm cutting down, man. Like, bro, I'm in the gym every fucking day. Like, I'm gonna go tonight at like midnight if I have to, but I'll go.
Yeah.
Dude, my best workouts are always at night. It's always been that for me. I'm not a morning person at all. Like people who can do PRs in the morning are just sick individuals that just need to be like put down. These people are not normal and need to go get psychological help. But anyway, no. But no, you are strong. Like I guess so. From what I've read, in terms of like technically when you're the strongest, it's usually around like noon to 2 o'clock in that range, whatever the time zone you're in. It's usually around midday where you're actually the strongest in terms of your whole body and stuff, because obviously you're fully awakened, of your CNS is at full throttle, and where like if you had like a really tough day and you're working out at the nighttime, you're pretty sleepy. But it's kind of crazy, like if you wake up early and you're interrupting your sleep, you're still stronger at nighttime after taxing the whole system, which is insane. But yeah, man, cuts for the sluts. Yeah, shout out for Zeke's greatness, man. That's shout out Chris Jones, baby. But yeah. But the one of the I wish I could work out. Like I remember the reason I started working out in the afternoon was like obviously if you work out, if you're just like everybody, right? You're working stiff, or like you get off early. Everyone's usually getting off around the same time. Usually they're getting off between 4 p.m. to 6. So that gym time is terrible. Yeah. Terrible. You can't do nothing. Squat racks are taken. I mean, you might as well just be in the corner with the 10-pound weights. Like,
well, dude, I noticed that same thing too, and it always kind of used to not get on my nerves, but like you're right that I mean specifically, I mean at the gym that I go to, it's it's a bigger one, but and obviously different time zones that you mentioned, but you're right, dude. Where some people, and obviously I get different strokes for folks, but usually when I'm going there, it's pretty dedicated and kind of just focused. But yeah, you see, like you mentioned, 4 to 6 p.m. things like that. A lot more like loitering and kind of like people hogging machines. And it's like, dude, like if you're gonna be talking and socializing for 5 minutes between sets, like at least let me hop in between. Don't just hog the machine. So
there's just gym etiquette, and everything like that. But yeah, man, shout out to Brian, man. This guy's jacked, like jacked. I know for a fact, but like this is the biggest flex right here. I'm in crypto and I no longer have to wake up early.
That's awesome. It's so true. I mean, yeah.
No, go.
Just everyone. I mean, shit. Like no one wants to be working for someone else for the rest of their life, or for 40 hours a week, or for certain things like this. So yeah, that is the ultimate flex, is to be able to have your time back and whatever you do at that time, whether with your family or relationships or health and fitness and stuff. It's just cool to be able to have that opportunity that obviously most people don't have and stuff. So you kind of have to realize that that's obviously something to be grateful for. So shout out to that guy. That's a amazing feat and accomplishment.
So I usually find like the entrepreneur, at least when I'm just like giving out game right here because we're talking about fitness a little bit, because it's really important, right? Like I usually find out like 10 to like noon or 1 o'clock is like a gangster hour, basically, where like it's either people who aren't working anymore, or like the gym's really like interesting at that point. Like I meet a ton of entrepreneurs. Like you just basically know who's doing pretty well when you see them at the gym.
Yeah, dude, I totally know what you mean. It's true, man. Yeah, you can it's always kind of nice getting on the same flow and whatnot with other people that are kind of there to kick ass too. I mean, kind of just dedicated. So kind of boosts up the energy in the room to get those PRs and stuff.
No, definitely. I thought, honestly, when I was a kid, man, or when I was like, when I was like 20 or something like that, 19 years old, I thought if I didn't have to work, I would be the most jacked motherfucker on the planet. Like there's like, bro, if like, you mean like my job is like I wake up and I just go to the gym. I don't know why. It is true though, but it's just like you have to make it a priority. But it's like, man, it's pretty tough. Like sometimes, like the one thing I will say that's kind of fucked up with me is like my sleep schedule is terrible. Like today, I actually woke up early than normal. I woke up at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, dude. I know what you mean, dude. Everyone's got different schedules and timings and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's I woke up pretty like normally I've been waking up 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, which is like horrible, bro. It's terrible. It's fucking on my schedule, so I need to fix that up.
I know what you mean.
But I just been grinding a lot in the night, because I find that's when I like things slow down a little bit, and then I can like really digest a lot of information in terms of like things slow down, so that I could really focus on stuff. the news sort of slows down a little bit, which is what I like to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's true, man. Yeah, I'm definitely stay up late late as well, and usually find kind of like you mentioned, and it's good to experiment with that stuff, right? Where whether it's like you mentioned, like if you're an absolute animal, lifting super early in the morning, like because I've done it 5 in the morning and stuff, and I've also done it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But kind of like you mentioned with different timings and things, you can always experiment with what works, what doesn't.
Yeah, the chat's just going wild over like this is why you're always streaming at like 3 a.m. Eastern Standard. Like we have at midnight or something. There's a lot of times I don't have time in the day until like I'm either doing consults and then I'm doing a lot of some research, or I'm moving some money around or yield farming a little bit here and there, that like I don't have time until like maybe like 10 at night or 9 o'clock at night, and then I do the live stream then and stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry for the East Coasters, man. It just sucks, man. But yeah.
Well, hey, at least you're making time to do that kind of stuff. Once again, a lot of people would just, make an excuse and not do it in the first place. So.
No, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I'll fix up the sleep schedule and stuff. I'm just like, I got some personal stuff going on, not relationship or nothing like that. Just some other personal stuff in terms of family and everything going on. And it's been stressing me out a little bit too in the background, but hopefully that shit gets all squared away and I can just get back to my rhythm and stuff. And yeah, man.
Yeah, there's always something, dude. There's always something like, and a lot of stuff's stuff that we can't control or stuff that kind of happens every now and then, but there's always going to be like, like a rock thrown in your direction or something like that thrown in your direction, whether it's like, your success is like wealth or health or something like that. Usually there's something. So, it's a constant, not struggle, but like constant something to break through next and kind of have as a next feat. So I know what you mean, whether it's sleep or finances or stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely cool, man. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, man?
No, dude, that was pretty much it. I mean, I do appreciate you having me on your channel, and once again, I watch almost all of your videos and stuff, and you and Charlie, I know, kind of do some of the streams I've seen, at least like some early in the morning and stuff. But anyways, no, I appreciate like I said, the people that I've met and hung out with through your course, which was really cool. And that's pretty much it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're, once again, whether this person's that tribe or that tribe and stuff, like a lot of us just want the same freaking thing at the end of the day, and might be different means to get those things a little bit more quickly. So shout out to your chat. Appreciate everyone being kind and genuine, and that's pretty much it, dude.
Yeah, so I've got 3 more things to say just before we get off the stream and stuff. Obviously, anyone that's in any of the crypto mindset chats and stuff, be on the lookout for a pin message that's going to happen either within tomorrow or the next day. So Fight Club rules. And from there, obviously in terms of the HEX price, I do believe we're going to get a little bit more of a dip on HEX, but right now is actually a good kind of little step to get a little DCA in right now on HEX. It's at 15 cents, pretty good price. If it goes lower, more beautiful, just remember to stair step down. And if it really turbo dumps, that's where you ape hard. And the last thing is basically for anyone who wants a consultation or anything like that, just DM me directly on Twitter. And I'm actually DMing people back right now. I'm scheduling out for the next 2-3 weeks right now, because I won't know what my schedule will be in April, but I'm kind of mapping out everyone right now for the rest of this month as well as early parts of March. So yeah, don't forget the sub, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, then you'll be you unsubscribe for some reason because of YouTube. So
it makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference. So check you guys out. Moon Gang in about an hour. So see you guys soon. Peace.